Hello. Good morning, students. So, in the last class, we had discussed about the history of Java, and now we had discussed about Java essentials. So, essentials in the sense, what are the things are required to run the Java application? So, here, so first of all, Java is a high-level language, and so this Java essential contains the three things. One is it requires some a language that is a high level language and Java bytecode, Java virtual machine. So in this Java essentials, first of all, we can say that Java is a high level language. Means we can write everything in the form of application program interface by using the syntax is same like C and CPP. So, but this for executing this Java application, we require some Java virtual machine because here in C and CPP, so compiler is required to run that C and CPP applications. For that, our source program is converted into object program, so that we require some compilers. Some program is required. So whereas coming to the Java, here one of the main feature of this Java is this is a platform independent. That means whenever we can write any program in Java, so we can run that application in any other platforms or anywhere. So this is a robust application and architecture neutral. So that coming to the C and CPP, here class file is required, sorry, object file is required to run our application. That application is executed where you have to develop. Whereas coming to Java, you can develop your application in one machine, you can run that application in anywhere. So that's just we required some uh, file. That file is in the form of bytecode. That bytecode file contains is also called as class file. So this is called as zeros and ones. So now for executing this bytecode, we require some interpreter. So Java requires some interpreter also. So that means to run Java applications, here Java compiler is required as well as Java interpreter is also required. So coming to the Java compiler, it can convert our program, whatever the program you can write using Java language. So that is converted it's into bytecode. So for that Java compiler is required, that is the Java C. And after compiling that one, so now that application is run. After compiling whatever we get, that file is called as class file or bytecode. Now that bytecode is executed by using Java interpreter. So here Java interpreter is required to run our application. So for Java interpreter, where the Java interpreter is runs, so that Java requires some runtime environment. So that runtime environment is nothing but Java virtual machine. It contains this Java virtual machine runs it bytecode. Here it executes in Java runtime environment. So this Java runtime environment is nothing but Java virtual machine. That means how this bytecode is executed, that those instructions plus core Java API libraries, how this application is developed. So application program interface libraries are required, are there in this Java runtime environment as well as Java virtual machine. For that, how this bytecode is executed. And totally this combined, that means JDK, uh, that means Java development is contains Java runtime environment plus development tool like compilers. That means once we have to develop our application is converted into bytecode. For that we can require some compilers. So along with this compiler, so it generates, that means once compile our application, it generates some bytecode. So that bytecode is executed in Java runtime environment. That is what JVM. So this JVM requires some Java runtime environment. This Java runtime environment plus compilers. So compiler called as Java development kit. So now you see here this image. Here Java source code is set. So once this Java source code is developed by the programmer or any user, that is source code resembles CPP but is simpler to develop and understand. That means a source code is just like look like CPP programming syntax or C syntax, And once Java source code is there, now this Java source code is converted into Java bytecode. For that, same bytecode runs on any Java virtual machine. That is different types of platforms. Just in that platform, just JVM is there. That means there is no where that application is developed is not important. That machine contains JVM where this Java bytecode is executed. Okay, and after that this Java bytecode is executed by JVM. So this is all major platforms have JVM. So that is in Windows application we can store JVM, and Unix or Linux anywhere we can different software platforms are there where we can run this application. Okay, this is what about the Java essentials. And coming to Java features. So as already we have discussed about some OOPS concept, because Java is an object oriented language, it contains mainly four object oriented features. To support that object oriented features, so here Java provides some Java features also. So the primary objective of this Java programming language is creation. Your applications make it as portable. That means those applications are run anywhere, and you can develop your application in simple manner, and those applications maintain some security. So these are the three main concepts. One is a portability, and other one is a simple, and other one is a secure. So these three are implemented through this Java programming language. So apart from this importance, there is some other features also there. So those other features are also called as Java buzzwords. So here those are explained. Those are Java features of Java is also called as a buzzword, along with portability, simple and secure. So that is Java is simple, secure and platform independent, and this is a robust, portable language and architectural neutral. Next, this is a dynamic, and this Java is interpreted language. Java is high performance language, and Java provides a multi-threading concept, and is also provides develop using this Java we can develop some distributed applications, and it is the main feature is a object oriented. So because Java is a purely object oriented language, why we can call it as a purely object oriented language. Everything we can uh, describe in the form of objects only. Even in the primitive data types also describe or wraps into some objects. So whereas in C and CPP, those are called as CPP is a procedural language. There is no concept of objects. So everything data as well as operations. That means to run any application or any method or any function, whatever the data is required, you can write the data into that function. Whereas coming to the C, and coming to the CPP, there is a procedural language or structured language plus object-oriented language. So it supports the two features, procedural programming as well as object-oriented programming. And coming to the Java, this is a purely object-oriented programming, because everything we can specify in the form of object only. So here first feature is simple. Why Java is simple? That is the syntax is same as C or CPP. So if you are familiar with the C and CPP, you can easily learn this Java. And Java has removed a complicated thing, whatever is there in C, that is a pointer concept. This pointer concept is not there in this Java. There is no explicit pointers. And one more concept is there in the CPP, that is operator overloading concept, that is also not there in this Java. And there is no need to remove the unreferenced object. That means in CPP, you can suppose you can take the CPP. Suppose if you are not required any object, so you can explicitly remove whatever the memory is allocated to that object. So that is the concept is in CPP. So in the Java, there is no such type of concept is required, because automatically whenever the object is not used, so whatever the memory is allocated to that object, that is automatically removed. So this is what the concept of this is using these three things, we can say that Java is very simple because the basic syntax is same as CPP, and there is no pointers concept, there is no operator overloading concept, and there is no explicit memory deallocation concept is also not there. So this is done automatically in Java, that is called as automatic garbage collection is there in Java. So this is what about the simple. And next, object oriented. So here Java is an object-oriented programming language because everything is an object. So just now only I can told that Java is purely object-oriented because everything we can specify in the form of objects only. So that software development and maintenance is very easy to us. So because of this is using these object-oriented features, development cost as well as maintenance is also very easy. So already we have discussed all these concepts. That is, these are the basic concepts: object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction, and encapsulation. These concepts we have discussed in the first video. Okay. So thank you. So tomorrow we will discuss other object-oriented features. So and the day after tomorrow we will going to actual programming concept. Thank you.